Okay guys, this is literally going to be one of the most important dates ever for XRP and the XRP price. I am talking about April 6th. And I know you guys dislike it when I talk about dates and when I talk about moon dates and talk about when XRP price could pump. But trust me guys, listen to me here. This date could be a lot more important than any other date you have seen before in the past. Now before we talk about why this date will be so important, let me give you a hint. It has to do with the lawsuit between Ripple and the SEC. Let's look back a little bit about why the narrative for XRP has already turned bullish and why all of these things are just bam after bam after bam are just kind of building blocks on top of each other to solidify the base for XRP and to build an amazing future, at least in my opinion, that's the case. New turn in Ripple lawsuit brings bulls back to XRP. This article was posted about 7 hours ago. However, it is mostly about something which has already been going on for days or even weeks right now, which is basically the hashtag realist XRP movement, which refers to some of these US exchanges which had to stop listing XRP, or so they thought, to now relist it back again. And the reason that they're calling it a new thing is because Jeremy Hogan just made another video talking about why these exchanges should actually start relisting it. He basically went over kind of a sample type of trial where in the end of things, he thinks that exchanges might just be able to relist it, positively. However, that is a basis for things. A second thing I would say is, of course, looking at the XRP price, looking at how it's trending right now, things are looking juicy, things are looking good. Even though you might say, Dusty, but we dumped like crazy just now. That's all temporary because the bigger picture for XRP is still a bullish run. Everything is still looking good. Once more, these are fundamentals that we're talking about here, and this is the longer term XRP we're talking about, and I just loaded up on a freaking ton of XRP. As you guys know, I just told you all I'm buying a ton, and I'm not doing everything at once, all right? I have a lot of fiat laying around, which we'll talk about a little bit later today, just to purchase every time that we dip a little bit. And I told you guys, XRP sub 50 cents is nice. However, because of everything I've taught about today, I gotta just get more. However, I wanna know from you guys down below as well. Are you an XRP holder? Yes or no? Are you an XRP holder? Put it down below in the comment section. And you should understand, these videos are in no way made to make you buy or sell the coin. Please understand that this is not financial advice, not legal advice, and even though we're talking about a date which I think is very important, it could be that nothing's going to happen, so do not expect any profit. Do not expect it. Just listen to what I have to say and then decide for yourself if you think it would be a good idea to purchase or not, because literally there's no benefit for me if you buy the coin. Don't think I'm doing this so you're going to quickly buy some XRP. No. Frankly, that's really 0% my intention here. It's just because I'm really excited about a crypto that I have a lot of. Once more, I have more in different cryptos than XRP, understand, but I'm just really excited about XRP and their risk to reward, basically, which is why I have a good amount of it and I'm excited for it. However, let's see here. Ripple scores goal. Court assigned telephonic conference on SEC documents regarding Bitcoin and Ethereum. The date for the telephonic discovery conference regarding the request of Ripple to compel the SEC to produce documentation on Bitcoin and Ether has been announced. And this guys is so freaking important. I've talked to you guys before, right? If Ripple gets the documents about Bitcoin and Ethereum, which a lot of independent lawyers have said before on Twitter, they will most likely get because it is very relevant. However, I've also seen a couple of, I'm not sure if they're attorneys or, I'm not sure exactly what they were, but I've seen a couple of people say as well that that's not going to be the case. They're not going to get it because in the Kick case and in the Telegram case, they've also not received it. And in a couple of other smaller cases, they also have not received it. So, meh. I'm in the middle here, all right? I'm definitely in the middle because I do not know the legal perspective here, so I don't know what the chances are. However, what we do know is that Ripple, like we've said for a couple of days now, has been treated at least differently. You might say biased, you might say unfairly, not sure about that, but they have been treated differently than Bitcoin and Ethereum have, and it does spark up a question, why? And what was said in the Bitcoin and Ethereum documents that might also be true for XRP, that might actually be very positive for XRP that they want to hide, because that is still our conclusion, that they are trying to hide these documents. They're saying, it's such a huge amount of documents, which it is. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of documents there. However, you would think the US SEC is acting in R, and I'm saying R as if I'm a US resident, I'm not. However, they're acting in the best interest for investors. So if they want to get everything out in the open, clear, transparent for all investors, which is basically their whole job, to make it transparent for investors, to make it safe as possible for them, then why not give these documents talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum? Because that would also make it more clear for us what exactly they discussed there, what their thought process was, what the discussions were, and why exactly an investment like Bitcoin and Ethereum is safe, quote unquote safe, or at least not a security, and XRP potentially is. You would think if they release those documents, release everything, it would make it so clear for us so we can actually spot things in the future as well regarding securities or like crypto-ish securities. It would be so helpful. So I don't really get that. And I'm thinking, since this is going to be on April 6th, let's quickly read this, a little part right here. Researcher Leonidas Hydrolozy, who often shares data regarding XRP, has tweeted that the court has yielded to Ripple's request to compel the securities regulator, the SEC, to produce documentation regarding why it approved Bitcoin and Ethereum as non-securities. Ripple also insisted that the SEC must show them other relevant documents about the XRP case. The U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York has announced the date of the discovery conference that would take place via telephone to discuss the joint motion of the defendants. The request to compel the SEC to produce the aforementioned documentation came from the lawyers that represent Ripple Labs co-founder Chris Larsen and CEO Garlinghouse, and now the conference date assigned by the judge. Sarah Netburn, the U.S. magistrate judge that has ruled that on Tuesday, April 6th at 2 p.m., Ripple Labs and the SEC will partake in a discovery conference via telephone to address Ripple's demand that the SEC produce documents relevant to the XRP case. And these documents were mentioned by Leonidas in his tweet. Documentation regarding the status of Bitcoin and Ethereum as non-securities, internal communications of the SEC regarding the legal status of XRP, and documents about 10 additional custodians. So there's two things that I should quickly mention here. One is we will not get all the answers on this date. So even though I am very excited and I think this might be one of the most important dates ever for XRP history, that is because this could be a pivotal turning point in the progress of this lawsuit and a pivotal turning point for my opinion about the fairness of the US SEC. This does not mean that by April 6th everything will be fixed, everything will be certain. No. We will most likely just get an update. Could be a small one, could be a big one. That is, again, what we'll see on that date. And that is also why I'm thinking there could either be a huge buy-in of speculators, basically, from between now and April 6th because they're thinking a positive verdict is going to come out, which often has happened before to the XRP price. A good example of this is when the February 15th, people expected a very bullish thing to come out. Let me quickly show you guys that. So really, back when Ripple was being sued, which is the 22nd of December, we saw it all. It was a really negative time. People are all waiting for Ripple's first response to the SEC. Now, the SEC came out with an amended complaint, yada, yada, yada. And Ripple basically came out with the response right around this time. However, people were expecting the response to come out right around this time here on the 15th. You see something interesting? The price has gone up continuously ever since Ripple let go of their document, the response basically, right around here, and when they were supposed to file it, which is basically an end date. And now people are speculating and thinking that because the 22nd was also another important date for the lawsuit, that right now, that might exactly be the thing that's going to ensue again, that's going to follow up, because this is such an important date for the lawsuit. Once more, we will hear more on the date specifically because it will be a call. And Sarah Netburn, we've discussed a couple of times on the channel before, has not necessarily been positive towards XRP, but she has been understanding of cryptocurrency specifically, XRP's status being different from Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I'm thinking that might be very nice here. That might also show two things. Right? Two sides. One, it might show that she understands well enough that XRP is so different from Bitcoin and Ethereum that the documents are not relevant, or that these cryptos deserve a fair treatment, kind of a same treatment, even though the SEC has stated before that every case should be handled specifically on its own terms and on its own rules, basically, because every case is completely different. I think she will have enough knowledge to properly judge this and see the difference and see the relevancy. But once more, this is all speculation that I can give right now, as we will see on that date specifically what is going to ensue. For right now, all I'm saying is, watch out, be careful, be excited, because this might be very freaking big. And let me know in the comment section down below too. Do you think this is all being manipulated, or do you think this is all fair and square? I'm not quite sure. All I'm saying here is, it is a little bit odd the way that Bitcoin and Ethereum were just behind closed curtains, basically, all of a sudden given a tick a little box of being like, oh, no, these are not securities. But when we're asking for the exact documents and everything that went around, or specifically about all the documents between the SEC and other parties, they cannot give that. They want to be a little bit less transparent than they usually request from other companies. Fun fact is that the SEC did want to have Chris Larsen and Brad Garlinghouse's entire bank statement history. However, when we want to ask some documents from them, it's like, oh, well, it's not relevant. That is interesting in my opinion, and that is once more what we'll be hearing about really quite soon here. There is more to talk about, for example, how Jeremy Hogan went into a little bit of a rant, easy words for it, explaining why exchanges really could be relisting it quite soonly. But let's quickly read what he said here. This was really interesting. I read the defendant's response letter in their request to obtain SEC records related to Bitcoin and Ethereum, which the SEC publicly stated are not securities. Bottom line, I would be shocked if the SEC judge, if the judge does not make the SEC provide these documents. The lawsuit against Brit/Chris bring knowledge of wrongdoing into play, and that is turning it into a big mistake for the SEC, as it is what makes these documents relevant. How big a mistake will depend on what is in the documents. Another very interesting thing hidden in the footnote, the SEC told a retail XRP holder that emailed the SEC that it had not made a determination as to whether XRP was a security in, wait for it, in October of 2020. They might have been drafting the lawsuit in October. So that is already something which does not line up. And once more, I am saying, not a fact, please, all right? Please don't think this is factual, but this is my opinion and my insights, that Ripple has been treated unfairly and a huge spike in the XRP price could come as they might just win this lawsuit. And I'm saying it once more. Oh, I almost get too hot. I'm almost sweating right now because of enthusiasm. I'm just thinking times 10, times 7, just crazy price surges once they really win it or really are off the hook at least. And once more, we're not certain of it, but it could be coming because all these freaking pieces of the puzzle, they're all not fitting together. It just is not logical what the SEC is doing here. However, finally, the SEC is not helping itself when it tells the judge half-truths. See Section 3, you can't tell the court you produced 97,000 documents when half of those documents were produced from Ripple to the SEC pre-litigation. That is a sure way to piss off the judge, and all my days do I like this guy. Oh, do I like this guy? Oh, do I get excited about this? Because what if we just would have win this, guys? And I'm saying we as if it's really me in the lawsuit right there. No, not really. So in the end of things, if they lose, all I'm losing is my investment in XRP, not really my life, like maybe Chris Larsen or Brad Garlinghouse, who might really, you have a lot of big trouble in the back end of things. Okay. However, I would still like for this one to pop off, and I still, as of this point, think it actually will happen. Once more, the fact he's referring to here is this. The SEC's burden, proportionally, and privilege arguments lack merit. As an initial matter, the SEC boasts that it has already produced 97,000 documents is misleading. Oh, this is interesting, guys. I'm so excited for the next couple of days and what is to come from all of this. This is, by the way, Ripple's response to the SEC's previous document, which we partially read, not all the way, but partially. And once more, this is going to be so interesting. The SEC has so far limited its production to the documents in its investigative file, more than half of which were produced by Ripple to the SEC, with the remainder third-party productions to or communications with the SEC. Further, the SEC's assertion that defendants' request would require an enormous search and review of an overwhelming number of documents should be accorded no weight, given these demands the SEC has placed on defendants and third parties during its own investigation and continues to impose through its discovery demands in this litigation, which is what I referred to, right? When I said talking about how the SEC is trying to get all these documents from Ripple too. So this is not really fair. Ripple produced approximately 303,000 pages of documents during the investigation. It is now reviewing more than 75,000 documents from 30 custodians in response to the SEC's document requests issued in this litigation. To date, the SEC has served 153 documents requests on Ripple and the individual defendants, as well as 51 subpoenas, I hope you pronounce it like that, on third parties, and the burden of complying with defendants' requests is hardly unusual for a critical issue in the case of this significance, particularly when compared to the discovery requests made by the SEC. Honestly, when you think about it, going through 100,000 documents, even then, let's say 50,000 because, well, Ripple's saying half of that is kind of fake. If they have to go to 50,000 documents in a $1.3 billion lawsuit at a minimum, I mean, you know, I mean, I mean, think about it. You know, think about it. Yeah, 50,000 documents might seem like a lot, even if, you know, people have to just keep reading through every single piece, which is honestly not the truth either. They definitely know. They definitely have a couple of systems because, while the SEC knows the only way that they can get stuff like this done is through lawsuits, so they most likely know as well that they have to cuff up these documents at one point or another, most likely. So they most likely know already which ones they can share, which ones they cannot share. And they're basically just referring to what parts of the documents that they might not be able to share, or at least have to maybe cover up a little bit or something along those lines. Because we saw before in one of the articles talking about how if it is required, the SEC can bring up most of the documents regardless because this is the highest or some higher court. Once more, I'm not an expert on this, so take it with a grain of salt, but we saw something along those lines. And I'm also thinking, once more, it's a $1.3 billion lawsuit. It's the U.S. SEC federal thing against the company. Yeah, a lot of things can be brought on the table here, especially, in my opinion, things that sound so relevant, like the second and the first biggest crypto, when you're comparing it to the third. It all sounds really relevant to me. But once more, that is my opinion. The stupid moron that I am might be too dumb to understand it all. And also, guys, I keep explaining and keep talking about how Ethereum right now is also having a strange treatment and how Ethereum's past is also contradictory to the law. However, nobody's ever brought that up to attention. And I think Ripple might make that one a little bit bigger as well as time goes on here. That the SEC is talking about an investment contract, yet Ethereum specifically talks about investment contracts in the past. So, yeah, sketchy situation, a little bit odd. I'm going to say once more, check out GSX. A link is down below. Once more, there's a lot of risk involved with this one. I personally have a couple $1,000s because I'm thinking, it's the first growth coin, first interesting concept. But, you know, once more, I put my risk to reward there. I'm thinking, hey, it might be worth it. If you don't want to, that's completely fine. That's completely up to you, as I know I will, I could lose all my money. I'm hoping for a times 20. You know, I'm hoping for it. But once more, I never know for certain. So please don't think this is a... I just knocked something over. Please don't think this is a fact. All right, I'm just saying I personally put some money into it. And right now it's 10 cents a coin, plus a 5% bonus, plus 5% bonus fees on my link. And you may make your own choice, whatever. You do what you want. I'm just saying, once more, I'm freaking excited for XRP, man. I'm so freaking excited that I want you guys all to press the like button if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys again in another one.